versus Transcendence. Fatfish will be popping dragons as Pulse Bomb comes out from Ultima onto Zuzao. And no one has fallen from the side of G-Force here. Like I said, G-Force got DK off of the high ground. And slam from Hammond Main with the follow-up. But it's not going to be enough. Anyhow, finds the kill onto Hammond Main. EMP comes out from the side of DK just to hack Ishi. Make sure he's out of the fight. Ultima with a kill onto Angry Cow. And Fatfish trades back onto Ultima, but Diva Bomb goes to come out from Anyhow. Does take out Fatfish with his Diva block. And looks like that is GG's for G-Force. Anybody from high? As now Hades Bob comes out, forcing Angry Cow's Tranquility, or Transcendence. But Hishi is going to use that opportunity. Doesn't have the Trank. I'm going to Flux now. Does find Decepticon. This Hammond Main finds Hades. Rally comes out from DK just to help sustain the fight a little more. Kills are starting to go the way of DK now as they've opened up a little bit more in terms of killing the backline. Fatfin back to help his team.
Attackers incoming in 30 seconds.
Yeah, DK just has so much resources on the point right now. It's going to be really hard for Olympus to push into this. It's like Autumn going to rally, just try and hope for the stall. See a big 1v1 happening on point. But it looks like Olympus is going to have numbers here coming back. Bob is going to be taking out Hammond Main, but Rally and Flux coming out from DK. Is going to find the Diva, and she is going to go down.
Attackers incoming.
But Olympus already has respawns back. They're already 6. Fatfish though, big kill on the takeout. Just back to back. So that's 2 kills instantly. 3 kills. Off of that high ground. That's high ground control of spaceship. Ultron comes out high, but right before that pulse flip is off. Now Bob coming out from Hades. Looks like the team ult beat ult. Looks like he's going more towards the ult, but that is able to instantly. Oh, he can kill the Bob, so he found one.
Огонь по готовности!
He has Fatfish on that Hanzo. No, he's still on that Hanzo after that. He's a crack spoon. The mine brings right into it. Unfortunate. Dragons do come out. It's not going to find anybody. But it looks like G-Force really taking point control.
Objective lost.
The Fatfish to kill the Ultima.
New defense point. Objective B.
Kill the Fatfish. G-Force has a lot of ultimates on them. Both teams, we're going to be seeing a very messy fight. I have a time where things come out. And Fraxman with a big kill on the Magic 8 Ball. That means they're not going to be having a rally to work with. But Strider is going to proc mines, and they're choosing to hit very early with that EMP. It does only find the Brigida as Grav comes out right after that Tranquility, but I don't think there's enough damage up there to be able to kill anything. And DK finds a few openings to kill to the Sombra and Fatfish on the Ultima. Back to the first point. The Tracer is here now to help, but he will be taking out Hammond, and that baseball gets back just in time to force his rally. It's a pretty even playing field right now, but DK covers on that anyhow. But it's just that baseball and Strider. They do get 99, but all this point for that goes down. G-Force haven't touched her. Diva's here, but it might. Ultima comes in, gets instantly bashed. Anybody with it. It's kind of on Diva here to find that touch. And Diva does get the touch as Hammond uses Minds Down and Rally team out, but
switching sides.
By that time, DK already won the map. Force him out of there. It looks like they're going to be walking here with Rally trying to go in, but a big EMP from Pummy onto 5 members of DK Fan Club. Not going to be using ultimates here, but Magic Meatball props rally to keep the fight going here. But 2 kills going to the way of DK. 3 kills. Fatfish on the Magic Meatball. No more rally for them. And they still have Mines and Flux here to work with. And DK is going to be getting the point control back. 72 and point does flip to DK. Fatfish
Ready
popping
for
visor
battle.
up on the high ground. Still anyone's game as long as the point stays alive. EMP comes out with a kill onto Ihishi. It looks like GeForce is going to take point control back, but Transcendence is going to come out with a big pulse from
Attackers
Ultima on the
incoming
Zhao
in 30
Transcendence just to try and keep people up from the side of DK, but Rally comes out and it's going to go to GeForce this time. I feel like this is so much closer.
This is
So much closer than last week. Rally coming out from Magic Meatball, and that is going to proc Ihishi to use the splotch of the Pulse Bomb, coming down onto Anyhow. Just slammed him right down onto it. A lot of mines
Five,
cleared there.
4,
But Anyhow, the
3,
Pulse Bomb comes out from
1.
Ultima, not going to find
Attackers
anybody. He does go to
incoming.
overtime here.
Defend
DK with a
objective
substantial
A.
lead over them. GeForce is going to have to get a really clean fight here, not use too many ultimates, but Trance and a Pulse Bomb do come out, as well as Fatfish using his Dragon. Does find a kill on the Magic Meatball, and then another kill on the Tommy. Back to back. Tracksroom. Tracer. The Fatfish finds Ultima, and DK just pushing it in. Big EMP comes out, finds all 5 of the remaining members on point from DK, but Hanamain still looking for a Mega back there, I'm assuming. Ihishi comes out with a flush, and then a Diva Bomb from Anyhow finds a kill on Zuzao. And Hanamain on point, but it looks like GeForce is going to take point control back here. Especially where they can see a lot of GeForce's team. It's kind of over for GeForce. EMP coming out from the side of Pummy. Didn't see that one coming. Ultima finds a kill on the Angry Howl. Then a Ihishi. Strider's on the Zuzao Fang and Pummy on the Ultima able to kill Ihishi. It's just Ultima and Diva here left on point. Or Crack Spoon and Diva, sorry. And Ihishi.
وليهم قوتك огонь по готовности.
wow.
Matt, give me a raise. It looks like you're gonna be trying to find just anyone Cracksman might be able to kill. He's not able to kill anybody. Striders did find Ihishi a little while ago as Hammerman gets anti. That's probably why they wanted the Ana. Now Zarya is nanoed. We'll be doing a lot of damage as Anyhow just walks into the back. Only ball here, very quickly and very decisively. Oh, it wasn't a Zenyatta play the game. I was baited by Pummy. Here comes a big EMP.
وليهم قوتك
Swung on and dashed out. Anyhow, we'll be trying to DK from doing that full cap as Valley comes out from
Helden sterben nicht.
Transcendence from him and a big clutch from Ihishi, but he's not going to get anybody with it. Fraction again, Anyhow. Anyhow does find a bomb with a boop from Strider.
60
He's going to take out Fatfish, I believe. Ihishi will be using Flux. Don't think it found anybody. Striders with the mines on the back line does take out both of the supports of DK as Hammerman instantly loses his whole health bar. He does now. I don't think it's not anybody.
وليهم قوتك
Followed up by Traction for the Pummy. All very close back-to-back kills. While simultaneously, the backline of GeForce walks in. We'll be going.
10 seconds
Going to make Angry Cat Uses Transcendence Fast. Walking Dragon before Pump comes out. Red Bull. No one's calling inside of like I said, G4's got DK off the high ground.
What is going on, all you tanks, healers, and damage dealers, and welcome back to the Latency May Community Invitational Overwatch. I forgot to say Overwatch. Anyway, I am Sepulence, joined by LaFon, and we have the opportunity to bring y'all the grand finals of this week's event. And it is going to be, from what I've heard, it's going to be a great one. We've got two phenomenal teams lining up here in these grand finals. LaFon, how you doing?
Doing pretty well. We're gonna have to start adding Overwatch 1 to the end of that particular time.
Yeah,
Staying
Overwatch
one, get a little
Classic.
bit longer. You know, it's get a little bit more words per minute out into the main stage. That being said, we got to talk about the games ahead of us. And well, on the way to the grand finals, Sepulence, we got to say that it's been a bit of a one-sided show so far. 2 O's all the way through into our best of 5 here in the grand finals. And I mean, one of these teams looking perhaps to try and take the continuation of the story through the the early parts of this bracket, trying to make it a clean sweep. Both teams looking to cement their victory here in the grand finals.
Yeah, and if I'm not mistaken, G-Force actually did have the opportunity to win last month, so this would not be a first-run trial for them. They're looking to double up the amount of trophies they've got, the amount of wins they have under their belt. And I was joking about this during, pre-production, during pre-stream. I was talking about G-Force. When they're a team that's around, I'm kind of like, all right, this might be a quick one. They're a very well-known team and a very powerful one at that. But LaFon, T3 go-getters, I mean, they have been absolutely phenomenal. Yesterday they had some phenomenal performances, some really close maps, but they always found themselves coming out on top. So they have fought tooth and nail to get here, and now they've got to take down one more giant before they can emerge victorious.
That is indeed the way the cookie crumbles, as they say. We'll talk about the series as we get into it, the map order as a result as well. We start off, as we always do, on Control. Map number 1 will be Busan. It's important to bring that up as we got to look at what the map order will be, because, I joked about the Overwatch 1 thing a little bit ago, but it's really critical because the style of Overwatch that we've kind of been witnessing in the last month, 2 months or so, has been very much a stylistically solved game, I think. In terms of what you can kind of expect, right? There's a lot of very specific ideas that are brought to the gameplay, and as a result, I think there's like 4 unique identities teams have, and I'm very curious to see what these squads have lined up for us.
Yeah, these squads are going to be bringing out, possibly some very fascinating compositions. We heard rumor of, maybe we might off-roll, maybe we might not. And I think that'll be super exciting to see what these players bring out and what stages they choose to bring them on, right? Busan, one of my favorite maps in the game, due to the fact that each individual stage, I believe, calls often for different team comps, or at least for different tank lineups. And the tank lines can really change or dictate the pace of the game itself.
That is very much the case. I will say that as you kind of get into the upper echelons of gameplay in Overwatch 1, you start to notice more and more high-tempo styles, right? We're talking dive primarily. I mean, we go look back to the last season of Overwatch League, and the best team in the world won with a dive composition. The meta has not really shifted much since then, at least in terms of, again, that identity that we speak about, whether it be rush, brawl, or, sort of the bunker-style compositions. But like I said, I think dive is going to be sort of the primary name of the game as we get set to go underway. We are going to be opening up on Busan downtown for all you wonderful folks out there. And look at that. My prediction is correct as we get into the first stage. Dive is on the table.
Dive is absolutely on the table, but at least for one of these sides right now, we've got a hog ball situation going on the side of T3, but I mean, let's just tried and true from G4, where they're going to bring out that dive, getting the apple pressure, pass off, but it looks like it may be working out pretty well here. LaFon already ultra weapon with the double kill, and they get trap locked down early. It's going to be a massive play. Trap lock, what? Just bananas yesterday, and insane player on the jump pad, and specialist on the jump pad. We know they're bringing rank to the table already. It's hardly begin before it's already over in favor of T3.
The big issue here, of course, that there's a high mobility composition on the opposite side, right? Kami Ultimate Web and Aster X are all going to be in a great effect here, right? A lot of flanking ability. A lot is going to be asked of Infected and Knight as a result to kind of shut down not just 2, but 5 players in return. So G-Force taking that great advantage here as they nearly the false stop for Ultimate Web.
Oh, Knight goes down. That Pulse up has already rolled for a weapon, and EMP not far behind. The Pulse doesn't have to find much because Astros found plenty. A triple kill comes through on the Mega, and has it hacked in favor of G-Force. Makes the fight that much easier. Negates that extra healing for the T3 go-getters. Guarantees another fight win for G-Force and LaFon. Believe it or not, they're already almost halfway done here.
Honestly, the biggest difference so far, though, is this Zenyatta and the damage throughput. You can see there's an EMP. It's going to shut down no one, as the dive has actually failed. Also, weapon punished by Trap Lock, but G-Force is delayed enough. I think they'll be able to hold this choke down.
Strong enough jump bracket, he is very strong counter to a Tracer, and I think Ultima Web just learned that the hard way. Takes that Tracer down early, was going to force G-Force back, but I love Astro's play there. They commit a single ultimate, they use that minefield, they zone out the TC go-getters for as long as possible. Madero dropping in quick, but not quick enough, unfortunately. Astro will go down too high in favor of the TC go-getters. Like time that he left, and Point just falls off the map one way or another. Trap Lock with the second elimination, and with the third, and it looks like this could be a close one. LaFon, go-getters desperate to kick her hold on this point, or it could already be over. They even get the chance to win.
This is actually really, really disastrous for T3 go-getters, though. Zeppelins is withstanding through the rally and you know, the sheer HP survivability. Here's the go-getters. They're going to flip the point, but they've actually lost the fight.
Lost the fight, they flipped the point for maybe 8%, and that is far too low compared to the 100 you need to make that fight worth it. Coming down with a solo EMP out of the Roadhog, all but seals the deal. Here comes that Riptire Trap Lock, dropping 2 and 3 and 4 yesterday, but this time only going to be able to pick up one. Madero, a little bit of support combat, taking down Infected, and that is not going to be enough to slow that team fast enough. T3 go-getters not going to be able to touch that point, and G-Force, they win our first stage boost on.
What a flex from Pummy with that EMP, though.
Very true.
Knight comes in with the EMP after Transcendence expires, and you expect that to be a fight winner. But as we said, the rally armor withstanding through it. And then Pummy's like, all right, that was a weak EMP. Here's one in return, but we've already won the fight, so it doesn't matter. An absolute flex of an ult play there by G-Force, and now, I mean, they're up one round, and not only are they up one round in the game, they're up one round in the mental game as well because of how dominant they were. T3 go-getters, even in their best fight, weren't anywhere to be found. And as they look to play in Mecha Base for round number 2, they're going to have to come up with a big result, a big difference of results if they want to try and equalize this map.
I'd love to see us go all the way to stage 3, but to be honest, I also wouldn't mind because that is my least favorite stage of Boost On. That'd be super cool, walking away with downtown and Mecha Base. Let's see if that's going to happen. T3 going for a bit of a weird play once again, though. Reinhardt, Roadhog, absolutely not a competition we've seen very often, but hey, they can make it work. We're not the judge. With the early hack already, one tip of the way to that EMP. Ultima Web taken out of the fight before they can even blink. Nice finds that Elam early on. Driving quick for a second onto Madero, putting them down. The go-getters bring up the gate much faster here on deck.
And nowhere to be found to kind of provide bodyguard bouncer resistance, if you will, for Madero. Still, trades are coming in, and G-Force, though they lose the point, are overwhelming go-getters' resources. Look at all that damage coming through. Lucio nearly taking down Sap, but it's not enough. Slight retreat.
Oh, possibly not as bright as we'd like. Sniperman 64 going in to make that double skull on the 2. Pummy finds the trade and Dusty takes out anyhow. D-Mac and the kill. I'm assuming that went straight off the map. A huge opportunity for Team 3 to stabilize this point even longer. It really, to me, right now, LaFon, feels like G-Force has been a bit scattered over these past couple of fights.
If anything, it feels like they took advantage from that last round where they won a fight, essentially 3v6. They're trying to turn that magic back here instead, are being picked off one by one. And credit to T3 go-getters who, living up to their name, just chasing off the opportunities that are afforded to them by G-Force. There's another whip hook, but that's not ideal if it's going to allow the Wrecking Ball to escape. A little moment there.
A little bit of a hello from Infected onto Ultima Web. I am curious. I truly am, because we saw this a lot yesterday. LaFon, Jag, and I were casting, and we saw a lot of winning maps, never by winning team fights, but instead finding early Elin. Just like that. They took down one person, it forced the enemy team to move back, and then they kind of took off the rest as they came. We're getting a prime example of what I'm talking about, a masterclass example of finding that first Elim, and then like dominoes, chasing down each individual player of the opposing team. It's not about winning the 66, it's about winning as many 2v1s as you have to.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to critique that ultimate for a second. Oh well, here's the Riptire. Speaking of ultimates, actually finds a lot of damage, but only one real elimination is traded back swiftly, so the Founder are committed. They're trying to bring this one fight back in. Our T3 go-getters with G-Force staying alive with really time transcendence.
Yeah, the double support ultimate there. I mean, really a dangerous play. It's something that I think the T3 Go-Getters are going to regret. They lose two very important ultimates back-to-back. Zero pops a single ult to counter it out, and all of a sudden G-Force looking large in charge once again. Anyhow, with the double kill out the gate, looking to make it a triple, but even if they don't, they've got that point on lock. Infected down, point down, and that's at least 10% more in favor of G-Force.
Yeah, and it's actually going to head to last fight territory too, actually, with the way the next fight's going to engage due to the delay that's coming in. Ultimate being taken out. Well, that is a swift-moving character, and you're going through Minefield, Rally, and the self-destruct, so G-Force have a lot of HP to work with here. And where's Pummy set up? He's on Bastion.
That's what I'm trying to figure out. I've been looking for him for like 2 minutes, and I just haven't seen him a single time. Pummy, I'm really playing a long game here, playing a bit of a flag, and it looks like there's still not going to be a viewing play yet. That's off the map, isn't it? Infected takes off the stage. Angelic, the Rally completely taking out the fight. Snapchat puts down Astro, and okay, there's Pummy guarding the point with their life. Snapchat finds Astro. Let's see if the Elim comes through, and it will LaFon. One already in favor of G-Force, but has too much damage been done against them?
No. With Knight being forced to retreat, unfortunately, we'll have to say, yeah, that is going to be the... Oh, this is tragic. No! Back. Please stay alive.
No way Knight wins this!
Okay.
Oh! Okay, maybe too much of it has been done now.
The Sniper has to go for the hook. Big hook. Doesn't get the damage, though! I think it's reload.
The push down onto the Bastion was just almost guaranteeing an elimination. That's why 5G on the way to Geller and King. Looking good for the T3 Go-Getters. Only a transcendent two out of 2 wars already over the Web. Get offline. Web not having as clean a game here on Mecha Base as they did down south, but it looks like the team isn't taking too much damage for it. All I know though, LaFon, we are looking at almost a guaranteed 99 to 99.
I'll not even get the contest from G-Force. There's the elimination to Puppies. They're down 5v6 already. Go chase down and does it. That's actually a big pickoff. Now it's 4v6. G-Force running out of players.
Not to be a 3v6, Zero getting chased into the underworld here, forced into the corner. Somehow still alive. Okay, anyhow, takes quite a few shots to that Zen, and really makes it out with the keys. A lot of ultimate after ready for G-Force via LaFon, but they're even really going to get the chance to use them. A possible backcat comes through, Traplock takes out ultimate weapon. Here comes the transformation from the Bastion. He gets taken out by the Moira, and that seal the deal against G-Force on stage 2. We are taking it all the way to stage 3.
I say this with all due respect, of course, but I've seen more organized Mystery Heroes games in queue. Jokes aside, G-Force certainly playing with their food. Turns out their food bites back as T3 Go-Getters gets at least a 1 on the board here. G-Force playing a very chaotic style on that last round of Downtown. Hey, on Mecha Base. Hey, I will highlight that it's critical. T3 Go-Getters, while the first round was not really to their strength, they played a Bruiser Roadhog composition, right?
Yeah.
Which kind of requires your Roadhog to be in the thick of things on a flank, sort of isolated, but really getting those pickoffs. G-Force's composition was designed to play around that very quickly. On the second round, where they were kind of forced into line of sight of the Roadhog, it was a little less effective. Now we'll see if they can adapt to it. Big teleport from Traplock is a very early aggressive setup. G-Force with the dive composition has a lot of random spam damage to attend to with the Torbjorn and the Symmetra in play.
This is going to be super interesting. T3 Go-Getters are going for kind of that level 5 turret play. They don't have a lot to full focus from G-Force, but it looks like already a couple turrets taken down by Pummy. I don't know, these team comps are very unusual to be LaFon because both of them require very specific successes, and unless that Symmetra and Torbjorn can both get off point and properly stabilize, we're going to find little to no value, and I think we're seeing that already. Somebody fell, the DPS were not set up like they needed to be to succeed, and G-Force just got to roll through them.
Yeah, and I think the one critical thing here is the win conditions established for T3 Go-Getters is not really in line with what G-Force is running. It's not a bad composition if you're in a point like, say, Control Center on Lijiang Tower, but we very much aren't, and so it very much doesn't have any win cons. G-Force, of course, very stable, very standard, very high tempo, up style played composition here. You can see already the fight coming in from Pummy, going to take out a turret, but they do a lot of damage here, actually.
Oh, Traplock did a 2v1. Might be able to take down the soldier if they're fast enough, but a lot of bullets not being landed. That's going to be Pummy going down. Angelic not far behind. And Traplock living to tell the tale. Not the nano sim. Oh, that is going to force Web to tuck tail and get out of dodge. 35% on the board for G-Force.
Ultima Wef did not shoot while Pummy was. Trying to say, hey, are you going to take down the Symmetra? Unfortunately, it was a 2v1 in that regard as Traplock was getting healed by Spite. And so Ultima Web not really attending to a 2v2. It became a 2v1. And we'll get punished with it as it was the most delayed elimination here in this round.
Oh no.
Where does was a big pin from Infected. And by big, I mean literally all the way to the spawn. And there's no one left alive as G-Force has just completely eradicated the remaining members of T3 Go-Getters.
I love the minefield from Sniperman here, just trying to buy every available second to the team as they can. Hummy's been traded out for trap locks, fight falls as well, and that should all but guarantee the point cap back in favor of G-Force. T3 Go-Getters getting almost the exact same percentage, LaFon, maybe a little bit more due to 3 contests from Infected. 2-man Earth Shatter comes through, and unfortunately, no follow-up off the back of it. Instead of ultimate that T3 Go-Getters are probably going to want back. G-Force back in control.
Looking like we're going to see some changes coming in. I think Sniperman is switching over to the Wrecking Ball for the first time this round. Taking a lot of damage, though, as both DPS players try to chase him down. Ultimate forced to retreat temporarily. This is an early engage with a wall. Big stick!
Oh! The stick through the teleporter, that could have been so much worse, but is only a single elim after all. Angelic going for a bit of supportive combat, but instead Spike gonna find a phenomenal sleep dart, live to tell the tale. We are up to 60% and counting. G-Force only 1 or 2 good fights away from being able to seal the deal here on Busan.
Angelic will be eliminated as the rally wears off. Sniperman catch them alone. The big sleep, actually an Ultimate Web. There it is. With Ultimate Web down, though, there's 2 players traded again. That's 3. Oh! We're in last fight here, and there's no players left alive for T3.
Last fight, we've got the aimbot online. T3 Go-Getters getting tucked all the way back into their own spawn. The feed from point forced out. Ultimate that they really may have wanted to use just a little bit later when they actually made it to the point instead of being stuck in their own spawn. Knight as a Death Blossom should be all but freeze for Darrow and Angelic both to pop some ultimates of their own.
What trades? There's that the Death Blossom coming in the back line.
Oh! It's big, but maybe not big enough. But Darrow going to be traded out for Infected. They've now nanoed the Reaper. You should do just enough to seal the deal against Angelic. You lose both your supports, and that's probably going to be a fight win in favor of your team. It would be quite a disaster if it was not. T3 Go-Getters looking to go out with a bang instead of a whimper here on Busan.
A little bit of a bit off a little bit more on the Kachu to G-Force yet again, but they'll be right back in the fight at the point. Isolated in 1v1 with a soldier gets taken out. And now, I mean, again, it's a 5v6 set up, and T3 Go-Getters big ants in the back line are at a disadvantage yet again.
It goes in quick onto Astro. Trap Lock going to be traded out. We're looking at a complete 5v5 across the board. Junkrat taken offline. There's a lot of damage missing from the T3 Go-Getters, but if Infected could get this whole hog or even one elimination just like that, things start to look a whole heck of a lot better. I suspect that whole hog to be coming out in this small room. A bit of tiny Overwatch for us if we're lucky enough. Hummy, that aimbot back online. No idea. He's being flanked into oblivion. There's the whole hog up and around the corner, and it finds the elim onto Hummy, even from that far away. Infected's there. Get rid of that soldier and make it even more in favor of the T3 Go-Getters. 90% in count, and we are running out of time for G-Force here. They are less than a fight away from being able to win this outlet. We've got to win just one more, and it looks like it started right here, right now. The Force are missing the trap lock not far behind, and that's got to be the deal breaker against the T3 Go-Getters.
The one thing about the G-Force that you have to attend to is the fact that at a moment's notice, they can turn it on a dime. And there was everyone dead for G-Force, and then all of a sudden, T3 Go-Getters had evaporated. Their personnel no longer to be found in the alive position, instead in the respawn queue. So is going to be the first game headed to G-Force as T3 Go-Getters. Certainly able to take at least a round away from G-Force, but a lot of the times it felt like our team on the offensive side of things in G-Force were just a little bit quicker on the draw and able to make magic out of nothing a lot of the times.
Yeah, magic out of nothing definitely felt to be kind of the name of the game for both teams. I think we saw, like you said, G-Force, there's this weird ability they have that all of a sudden they turn it on and the team in front of them just kind of disintegrates, turns to dust. And I feel like we did see the opposite from the T3 Go-Getters on a lot of things where I was kind of thinking, oh, this comp's a little weird. Oh, I think, this Roadhog isn't really going to work out. They really did make something out of nothing. I think that was a really impressive feat for them, especially against a team as, I guess, hardened as G-Force.
Yeah, and I think we have to highlight stylistically. I don't think there's anything wrong. I said it was Roadhog existing. The one thing that kind of sets up though is that you need the Roadhog to be sort of a self-contained individual, right? They cannot be getting resources from the rest of the team beyond like a stray heal every now and again. You really need your Roadhog to be just a pillar of existence by themselves. They are a bruiser in every sense of the word. And a lot of the times what we didn't get to see that from T3 Go-Getters. In fact, it was on the third round where we saw a little bit of a role swap too, as it was Infected going from the Reinhardt over to the Roadhog and Sniperman going over to the Wrecking Ball instead from the Roadhog prior. So definitely a little bit of miscommunication, not miscommunication necessarily, but a little bit of loss of mark on what their style is supposed to be, and I think that has certainly been a little bit awkward in terms of generating resources and making things easy for the opponent to kind of resolve as a result.
Yeah, and really quickly before we jump into map 2, I just want to say a big congratulations to the giveaway winner, which I have been confirmed is Davey KVA. So Davey, if you're watching, please head over to the support ticket channel in the Latency Discord. We can get you that USD Amazon gift card and some KF gaming lights to be sent your way. So jump in there, get over to the ticket channel. We'll get that all figured out for you there. Okay, back to the game. Let's talk a little bit more about this. I'm glad to see what we're seeing from the T3 Go-Getters here, LaFon, because I almost said it, but I thought I was crazy. I'm like 70% sure Infected is a DPS player most of the time. So them being on the tank, that was actually the off roll. That was the unusual thing. So putting Infected back on the DPS, I think this could be exactly what T3 Go-Getters need. They'll get right back into this series.
I've seen officials where Infected has played a couple of different things, so didn't necessarily surprise me, but I think this could be really nice big wall there. Knight's gonna get caught out. Able to keep up alive, big immortality field usage, and Ultimate Weapon's gonna find a stray grenade in their face. G4 still pushing the cart forward, but down a player is going to make it a little bit more awkward here.
Yeah, down a player is definitely going to be tough. Maybe Tummy can get in, get a couple of freezes, maybe just a great wall to separate the team fight. That could work out well. Or, hey, maybe Madero can do a little bit of work here and take Infected down early on. The Doomfist offline makes the supports feel a little bit more comfortable with their approaches, especially as Trap One goes down next. Tummy can't clan these clicks, but baits out the immortality field, and that is a mistake that the T3 Go-Getters are going to regret. That is the green light for G-Force to storm through them and approach this first play.
And there it is. Ultimate Weapon will get the vengeance of their early elimination, but get them the last 2 kills of the fight. Another swap coming in here as we're going to see stylistic, sorry, a little bit of change set up. Infected gets the elimination to Ultimate Weapon. Nice Tracer 1v1 there. You see that in a big way. But this is going to be the point, I think, captured uncontested. Yeah, there's no one able to return to the point, and even 5v6, T3 Go-Getters cannot stabilize the objective.
Devlek has a Riptire here, and I really think it could be an impactful ultimate, especially if they can drop it from the high ground to the low. You've taken Ultimate Weapon offline, that's one less person to worry about. And I think they just wait for G-Force to push through. They should be able to pick up maybe 2 or 3, but Madero with a very unusual flank from the Zenyatta takes down both the main tank and main support, sealing the deal against T3 once again.
Yeah, I mean, this is now just a staggered fight, right, for T3 Go-Getters. Nice little piece of... that is not an illegal wall. Totally, that is totally legit.
Is totally legal. That's a legit wall right there.
Speaking of, we're going to see another switch coming in. Knight going to go over to the Reinhardt, but Point's already dead, so... I mean, this card's just going to roll for... Oh, Knight. Oh, no. Yep.
This is a big issue we had yesterday with Wrecking Balls, LaFon, is we saw a lot of them, when they started to take damage, they would push into the enemy team instead of reverting back to their own team and getting some healing. I think that's kind of maybe what just happened with Point, who we should mention is on the tank, by the way. That is an off-roll. Point was a support player. Sniperman was running tank, but it looks like they've swapped. And LaFon, I don't know if I've ever seen a 6-minute time bank entering 3rd point Junkertown.
Yeah, it's certainly a healthy time bank. To highlight, the only player that hasn't swapped roles, I believe, on T3 Go-Getters is Traplock.
Yeah, Traplock has played nothing but Junkrat this entire tournament.
Yes. Infected about to get get a 2v1 now. There's the stun coming in. Yeah, the Brig is still the counter to Tracer, even though you didn't get the one-shot combo in. This has just been extremely staggered by all through second and this half third. There's not really been a 6v6 setup. So it's going to continue to not be a 6v6 setup. His point's about to go down. Yep, there it is.
This might be an even better example of what I was trying to talk about earlier on how it's not winning the fight 6v6 that's helping these teams find success. It's just never letting them fully regroup as a 6. It's finding one Elam super early every time, hitting a pulse bomb when you think you can, taking down the Tracer in the blink of an eye, and like that, all that damage drawing, you've gotten rid of the Lucio, you've maybe forced out a support ultimate if they had one, but instead, I mean, it's just dominant. Every time LaFon is dominant.
I mean, at this point, T3 Go-Getters are actually going to be forced to reset a 6, if only by virtue of the fact that their spawn is so close. Like, the end of the map is right here. So Point is going to survive, barely. It's actually Infected who goes down early with the Widow, and I mean, this fight's over.
Yeah, this fight's over before it even gets the chance to begin. I mean, this is just T-Force coming through time and time again, finding early elims, and T3 Go-Getters constantly trying to figure out what they can do against them, but that's also forced them to swap. We've had a little bit of musical characters, right? And then no ult charge has really been available. Traplock holds onto that Riptire far too much for my liking, but at the end of the day, it's all these small mistakes that add up and really kind of pin T3 Go-Getters down there on Junkertown. They were never able to get back into the fight. T-Force takes full advantage of it the whole time, and by golly, I mean, a win condition has been set, LaFon, but it's a tough one.
Well, win conditions be set for G-Force.
Yeah, sorry, I meant T3.
I don't know that T3 Go-Getters will have. I mean, a win condition will happen if they complete the map themselves, and then we'll see how they go. But it's always funny when on the half side screen when the timer actually counts up as opposed to down. It's that is always very very silly, right? 4 minute 5 seconds to G-Force as they complete Junkertown's 3 points allotted to them. Now, T3 Go-Getters, we'll see what they kind of bring to the table here, but no surprises from G-Force. I think they've stayed pretty stable throughout their time here, and if anything, the surprise is that they're not having if they're changing anything at all, right? That they have showcased different players on different characters here. G-Force, they're really nothing went wrong for them in that first fight. I think they had grand total of 4 kills or 4 deaths on their side. Ultimate Wep twice, and Angelic once. I think Pummy died once as well. So, in all senses, they weren't really forced to make many changes, and yet here we are.
I mean, I love that G-Force is running a pirate ship strat on defense. I'm a big fan of that. I think that's hysterical, and I think Knight is not going to be super happy about it. As he barely makes it out of spawn. A double whip shot Elam already for Angelic. Talk about a highlight reel moment. Tommy takes on Trap Lock and 4 Pilot Diva. She's not going to live to tell the tale either. That's practically a team fight win already. Oh, he's back. Probably not for long. Yeah, unfortunately, Knight goes in, taken right back out. T3 Go-Getters. I mean, look at that. Knight has died twice. The only ult charge he has is from his passive ult. I mean, it's just G-Force. They have too much damage for Winston to go in alone like that.
Angelic's oh no, this is not. Oh, okay. Surely, there we go. I was gonna say, surely Pummy dies here with the
That's still a 2-2.
It's still 2. Knight, please stay alive. Please stay alive.
Knight, just slow down a little bit. That's all I'd like to see. Just a little bit of a slowdown from Knight. Maybe not getting as overzealous, as over aggressive. I'm sure with the main tank, it's their job to lead the charge, but you gotta make sure there's actually people to charge it with you, or it's gonna bite you in the butt just like that. Even after a 4-3 advantage and a spawn advantage, T3 Go-Getters are still getting anti-stabilized here. Infected is a little bit kind of curious on who they want to take down to give their own life for it. Anyhow, chilling in the back line. Not the res! Oh, Infected up, but Sniper Man down. LaFont, half the time bank's almost gone.
Yeah, I mean, it's rough for T3 Go-Getters. I think that's a fair thing to say, yeah?
I agree.
G-Force,
it's rough.
G-Force, oh, that's a nice shot, though. Certainly very standard routine one, but hey, you can give a little bit of props where they go. G-Force are, oh, please trap lock. Please, going straight out. No, please.
You can't quite jiggle peek in Overwatch like you can in a lot of other first-person shooters, and some players are definitely learning that the hard way here today. I mean, it's going to be half the time bank officially gone. T3 Go-Getters looking rough. We're getting another swap, one that I prefer. I love to see the Wrecking Ball. I think you just need to be focusing individual players. Point swapping out of the Roadhog. Usually I'd be mad about that, but you get a hook combo on somebody, it's all worth it at the end of the day. Double kill in favor of G-Force. Now the T3 Go-Getters finding themselves stuck in spawn once again.
By the way, the Riptire did not get any eliminations there. And Traplog does not even get the kill untraded. No! That's a disaster. G-Force. I mean, G-Force literally. No! No! Okay, you know what? You know what? Spectacular move from Sniper Man 64 there. No notes.
The closest to jiggle peeking we can get in a game like Overwatch, but it works well at the end of the day. Ultimate Web hiding above the spawn. Might lose it to Sniper Man. I'd love to see Sniper Man live up to the name. It looks like, oh, Traplock steals the kill. I'm giving that to Sniper Man in my heart. I think they would have won that at the end of it. We're down to 70 seconds, LaFont. 70 seconds and map 2 might be over.
Cart will get some movement, though, as actually might actually end up getting captured here with how far it's been sort of how far of the map it's traversed while the shenanigans have gone on. And with G-Force no longer having any players alive to kind of contest this objective, this might actually roll through to that first point checkpoint.
Traplock goes down. Madero finally going to bite the dust there due to point coming in quick. Astronex finds an elimination on the Cyberman. Point is gone, and just when you think T3 should have the opportunity to stay alive and cap that first point, it's Elim after Elim here in favor of G-Force. Knight trying to make it out with their life, has to abandon the cart to do so. 30 seconds left. LaFont, they already only have one more attempt to make this happen.
Yeah, G-Force actually does switch to quick-moving characters to return, so they do get back in the last seconds. That's not where the translocator goes.
Now he's trying to do the jump boost that somebody posted on Reddit like 3 weeks ago. You can throw the translocator there, and for some reason the game doesn't process it hitting the ground, so it teleports you parallel to the window height. I'm gonna guess that's what he was trying to do, because that's the exact spot you'd do it from. But yeah, it looks like it's not going to work out well. Wasted the translocator on the meme, and now going to give their life because of it. Could not TP out as Knight came in quick. Nobody touches the card, LaFon, and that is going to be a 2-0 lead for the G-Force. They are now one map away. A map that I cannot remember the map type off the top of my head. Might be hybrid. I'm not sure. But either way, there's only one map left if they're able to clutch that out.
Man, if I were to, at the start of the series, you were to ask me what's the scoreline going to be, I would have kind of guessed 3-0, but the way we've approached this 2-0 scoreline has been nothing short of spectacular. Yeah, we got hybrid in map number 3, and I mean, the one thing to kind of take the takeaways from the series so far, if there's anything to kind of gain from that, G-Force are quite good at getting things to devolve into chaos and then playing off that chaos where they're able to still thrive in the madness, as it were. You know, a Lovecraftian sort of a stylistic setup for them, and it works out. I'm just looking like one of these times we're gonna one of these games is gonna happen and the ground's just gonna open up and swallow all the teams, and then G-Force is gonna win somehow. What I can imagine.
I am really excited, LaFon, because the next map coming up is one that I feel like a lot of people don't particularly enjoy, but it is one of my favorites after all. It is King's Row. I'm excited to see it for a lot of reasons, one of them being the Bastion gameplay we have seen from G-Force. If you're going to run a Bastion, this is one of the best maps to do it and not be throwing for your team. So I'd love to see Pummy on it. On the defense, I think makes more sense. I'm a little sad to not see Mandata's hat making an appearance, but the May, I mean, she's also practically an insta-lock here on King's Row.
I gotta call you on something right there. Did you say that King's Row might not be some people's favorite maps?
LaFon, there's so many people that are like, in chat, they'll be like, Scrims Row, ZZZZ,
I mean,
oh no, King's Row again, ZZZZ.
Yeah,
I'm like, I love this map.
Yeah, but hold up. There's a reason why people say that. It's because people play it all the time because they love it so much. I think it's an overrated map. Everyone is just tired of seeing it.
I think I like it because, like you said, everyone has played this map hundreds, if not thousands of times. So to me, this is a map everybody can be playing at their absolute 100%. There's no surprises. There's no kind of map changes or anything. It's the same map they've known and loved since the beta. And right now, Astro probably loving it a little bit less. In fact, it takes them down early with the left shift. Immortality goes from Madero down. Madero for the first time this series going to be off the Zenyatta, trying to bring out that piece in on King's Row. Crablock has such a good opportunity to just do Junkrat things. So many great angles for this grenade.
I think actually the biggest thing is the handshake to go tank v tank, Ryan v Ryan on King's Row. Infected's actually going to be taken down. We're seeing the swaps come back in. Infected goes back to the main tank role. Other than that, G-Force gonna likely win this one off with that Immortality Field stabilizing everyone alive. Madero able to heal up. That is going to be the fight over. Spite gonna take down the main, the main healer, that flex support role, but G-Force I think have done and dusted this fight.
Done and dusted indeed. A huge opportunity for G-Force and Pummy, making sure there's no loose ends here, cleaning up everything, sending Lucio back to that spawn room. What? Who did they headshot right there? Just the jump right click headshot somebody, and it helps out, no doubt. It's gonna be 5:20 on the clock here for G-Force.
That's despite having technically lost that first engagement with Astronex going in extremely aggressively. Still, I don't think Infected actually landed an Earth Shatter at any point in that. I think that's
I don't think so.
Despite having lost that first fight, still has that first Earth Shatter.
I love the attempt at the wall there, but with the downhill slope, it's a lot harder to get up and over the shield like that. A great attempt and a great opener, honestly. Pummy going deep into the back line. You get a couple of eliminations with that Blizzard. Takes down Point, takes down Trap Block, and immediately makes that Blizzard worth it. It's tradable. We're looking at right now with, okay, never mind, a 3-2 trade in favor of the T3 Go-Getters, and a lot of that has to do with Knight on this Doomfist. Doomfist, one of the fastest damage dealers in the game. If you count the punch as, you know, DPS, damage per second, it's going to be one of the largest numbers that you can find in the game of Overwatch. Knight already has that Meteor Strike as well.
I mean, also, you got to give credit to Spite's Ant Matrix. Speaking of, the Earth Shatter from Infected lands, Spite getting it second. A Spite from G-Force not looking too hot.
Not too hot at all, and a big part of that coming through for Trap Lock. A double kill with the Riptire. Knight finds another Elam onto Web, and I've got to say, as much as I think the Cassidy works here, I'd love to see Web back on that Tracer.
Yeah, I mean, Ultimate Weapon's good at... Ultimate Weapon's primarily a Tracer player, has made their name known via that kind of style, but, and I mean, hit scan works out remarkably well. The problem is, if you go to Tracer at this point in the game, is a little awkward. There's a sound barrier. The fight's halfway through, they try to get infections shut down, but T3 Go-Getters with a later sound barrier and the Matrix in tow are going to have the more advantage setup here, Seth, and this fight kind of goes towards the tail end. GeForce running out of players.
Yeah, speaking of awkward, LeBron, I kind of want to jump back from what happened. Angelic dropped the beat in an attempt to save the teammates, but did not get around the corner fast enough. Only dropped the beat for themselves and one other player, so it did not have the impact that they wanted. To immediately answer my points beat that found 5, and I think that is what gave T3 Go-Getters the leg up they have right now, right, with the counter pin into Astro. Infected, finds Eagle right off the back of it, and T3 Go-Getters, they're looking good once again. Oh, second Eaton.
No, those did not get
right on. It's right on into the point. That's actually going to be such a large green light for GeForce. However, nobody checks Infected in the tavern there. Gets in, finds that D-Mech, forces the bomb even. So a fight that should have been pretty one-sided for GeForce instead has pulled a lot out of them.
Man, this map, Trap Lock sitting on the high ground here. I don't know that anyone's going to be scouting out the Junkrat here, looking for that flank.
A tire. That tire would have been colossal. I mean, a 4K at least, but instead goes in a little too deep. Wet finds the flash ban, and that'll seal the deal against Trap Lock. Now moving in quick, Astro has the shatter. They know it Infected didn't have the most success with there, so Astro trying to get a bit showboaty with it if they can.
Mortality field down as Astrox trying to stay alive. Infected is actually the one comes up clutch. 2 kills there. GeForce down a player.
Oh, down a player, but no longer is that the case. Ultimate Web with the double kill, looking to turn it into a triple. One more bullet onto Spite. Would have been phenomenal, but unfortunately Spite makes it out by the skin of their teeth. Honey moving in quick. Point gonna go down finally, and the Pilot Diva here to try and save the day. That 1.5 meters turns into a big old goose egg. There's 3:33 on the clock for the GeForce.
That being said, that was a 5.5 minute time bank that has been eradicated now, and GeForce looking to try and salvage some of that resource, some of that time bank, get those eliminations. Yeah, point. Skating directly into the hammer swing of the Reinhardt. It's T3 Go-Getters in a bad position as they're going from alive to very much not, and the cart has been uncontested on the way through.
I mean, Astro dying there isn't even as negative as you might think, especially as the Blizzard Bomb comes through with a shield! The last second shield save today, Infected shatters directly into the wall, and the bot, I don't know if I've ever seen so many stumped ultimates to come back like that. So it looks like it's still gonna work out well for T3 Go-Getters. Here comes that tire from the heaven. It puts down Angelic. This is the opportunity T3 needed to get back on top.
That was the 5th ultimate used. It was the first elimination via an ultimate after 5 ults. Just putting that out there.
Wowza.
And not in the GOAT's way of doing things where
you're not in the good way.
Didn't die. Yeah, it was just a little bit of quick on the trigger a couple of times in ways that were perhaps a little awkward. Trap going for an advantage play, an aggressive play, will not get punished, but will not get much for it either. As GeForce is going to have a swap in. Astronex going over to the Winston, so a lot more mobility here from the tank line. Not followed up by the DPS, and Astronex punched into the back line and then eliminated swiftly.
Eliminated swiftly. I think swiftly is the word for it, LeBron. I'm not sure there's a better word to use there. That was definitely swift, if that was anything. And flipping out of the Winston here is okay, great. I was going to say, not a great idea in my mind. I think there's just a lot of really good Winston answers on the side of T3 Go-Getters. So that brings out an early high noon, looking for a little bit of damage, and pulls a lot of it short. Somehow that flashbang doesn't find Infected, but the Elim will still come through. Meteor Strike deep into the back line. If they can find the Baptiste, they will. Is that enough right now? I mean, Knight might be the last one left alive.
Yep, Knight just stands there knowing that they're dead to Astronex and waves hello because the job's been done. That was 3 kills by the Doofus as T3 Go-Getters had lost half their team. But spawns being what they are, they favor the defense tremendously, and GeForce are, you know, pulling out a mecha base from Busan to their name here as they're forcing fights at a disadvantage. There's another one. In fact, it gets taken down, but this might not be enough to bring the cards back in their favor.
Oh! All right, speaking of cards back in their favor, Trap Lock takes a couple cards right out of GeForce's hands, just kind of adds them to their own pile, ties things up for just a moment, but Wep on the Cassidy. I mean, ever since I made the comment, oh, I don't know if I want to see Wep on the Cassidy, they were like, you know what? Let me show you why it's worth it, and I think they really have proven their weight worth in gold here, LaFon. In fact, he tries to go through the Blizzard, unfortunately gets spun out by the freeze. Here comes another. I knew he goes up! How many does he put down? It's gonna be Knight taken down quickly there. Say good night, 2 Knights, and possibly good night. The GeForce offense, 1.42 meters left, 40 seconds left on the clock, and they will finally walk right in that 3rd and final one.
4 seconds of the time bank though, and that is not ideal for our team currently in red, because it means that if T3 Go-Getters were to complete the map, they only have to complete the map, not much more than that. Time bank notwithstanding, they will get, if they complete the map, a second run at King's Row. That being said, we gotta talk about people bringing us this wonderful tournament, talking, of course, about Dude, Dude.gg, a social network for gamers to connect with other gamers, an easy, simple method of gamer profile discovery, and instant messaging for real-time engagement. Dude is developed by gamers for gamers to serve the purpose as the all-in-one ultimate hub network for gamers. From detail-oriented gamer profile discovery to content creation networking through the messaging system, gamers are able to utilize and take advantage of the platform's full functionality and indulge in an unmatchable user experience that gamers ever need. Dude.gg for more information. Thank you to them. Now, as we head back into the action itself, here on the second half of this run, T3 Go-Getters, their work cut out for them, I think is fair to say. They haven't really made much in terms of progress over the majority of the series, in fact, having only claimed really 1 point so far, that being Mecha Base on Busan. But certainly, a great time for a turnaround as any is right now.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, how many best of 5 series have we seen, LaFon, that get turned around in a scenario just like this? I mean, cap all 3 points in 40 seconds. That is unbelievably doable with the T3 Go-Getters here. And let's see how quickly they can really kind of hold down this defense. Can they just turn it into an immediate kind of 4-0, or is it going to be a little bit more action coming out from the side of T3? Looking for the attack. Knight goes in quick, takes down Angelic. That's pretty much ended the fight here. Orion without a Lucio is going to be in a tough spot, and that's exactly why after the next to fall, Wet is a deleted Madero also going to fall.
Pull says T3 Go-Getters, and before they hit the ground, Puppy's already dead. So
oh no,
that's going to be another point gain. And this has actually been the cleanest fight that T3 Go-Getters has taken all series.
I agree.
So it's a good start. You know, we talked about the time bank that GeForce had on their run, equalized by T3 Go-Getters as they get to the second stage now of King's Row, and they're entering to this with close to resources that they need to actually make an impact play. And on top of that, they have the vanilla, the neutral game kind of to work with, as Knight has been sort of a real threat in that first pickoff situation. Despite Knight's immortality field is taken away, that's not ideal to start, but they're able to recontest it.
Uh-oh, Astro goes in quick, looks for the left shift, gets stuck out by the May wall. A lot of damage to be done, but the immortality field is there to keep them alive at least a little bit longer. Currently, T3 doesn't have a lot of ultimates to work with, but, kind of right side, GeForce doesn't quite yet either. Like you said, we're going into this fight vanilla, just looking for any Overwatch opportunity to come through and find these elims, and it looks like elims are definitely going to be flowing in favor of the T3 Go-Getters. Oh, man, Astro tries to save the day, tries to give us the hero play, walks in at 140 HP, and unfortunately walks right into a Junkrat grenade. It's going to be another fight win for T3 Go-Getters. This is the sign, this is the beginning of the end possibly here. They are doing a great job keeping this momentum rolling.
Spite's immortality field comes off cooldown at the right moment, right, for that Earthshatter to mean absolutely nothing. And that's back-to-back fights that T3 Go-Getters win incredibly cleanly. Now eyes on Infected, who's on the flank. Perhaps looking for an Earthshatter, decides the wisdom, sorry, what is it? How does that saying go? Discretion's the better part of valor. So trap on the flank here.
I don't think I know that saying. Oh! That's unlucky. Traplock has that Riptide taken down, and they hold on to that Riptide for so long, too. They really try to not use them unless they're positive they can get an elim, and that one doesn't find much of anything. Instead, 3 of their own teammates are taken down. Traplock finds the pilot Diva, but I really fear LaFon. Damage may have been done. The grab from Sniperman in what is, I think, a 5v2? Not exactly what you want to see. Now, even then, Sniperman's still trying to make it out of the fight.
Oh, but takes the odd angle away. Yeah, there's a sun.
No!
Bye. One of those players had a speed boost, the other ones didn't. So
exactly.
Infected, hello?
Huh.
Wait, are they trying to backcap? Are they trying to catch GeForce in an awkward position? Because they got the emulation to Angelic.
Angelic goes down. Yeah, Traplock also gets taken down pretty quickly. Here comes a meteor trick from Knight. They can bait out the immortality field that could have been huge, but instead, Knight is just, deleted from the engagement. They're using the ultimate, doesn't even get the opportunity to get back out of the fight. Here comes Astro with a shatter. LaFon, this has to be colossal for GeForce to get back on top of things. Right now, they're up and currently, okay, never mind. It's a 3v6, so, or 2v6. So right now, GeForce in a really good spot to hold this card. Infected gets pinned off into the corner. GeForce, they are large and in charge once again. They are walking right after those spawn doors.
The one bright side there for T3 Go-Getters is none of the players left alive had an ultimate to use in a disadvantaged situation. So that's a good thing there. Downside, of course, is they have no ultimates. So GeForce are really walking through this one, looking at it like, well, they've got Blizzard, they've got Earthshatter. They're looking pretty healthy for this next engagement. There's that Blizzard coming out.
Where
did it go?
Oh, it went straight up?
Straight up.
Oh, it's such a risky play with a D.Va on the other side. Oh, no, just kidding, because there isn't one, because there is no D.Va on the other side. So he tries to time that out, gets a great opportunity, a double tank kill off the back of it. GeForce, they have just obliterated this timer. We're down to 2.5 minutes. We were at 5:40 when we started.
Yeah, I mean, now looking forward, fights have been so quick now as GeForce has kind of brought their feet back under them that T3 Go-Getters still no real resources to speak of. In fact, they're the only one with a check mark beside their name, and then they're backing the respawn team. So GeForce is going to walk ahead to the spawn doors and just deny T3 Go-Getters any chance of resetting. Except this fight is not really a fight, but it's over.
It's gotta be over off of that. Infected finally suppressed that Q button. Oh, and then Astro tries to cancel it. Just obliterated here.
Oh, man. I'm malding, Seth. I'm malding here. Ugh.
Nothing hurts more than being the Reinhardt that Astro just was. When you get shattered, you're like, oh, I'll shatter right now. They think, they never expect me to, but that's the trick. We're always expecting you to. You should never shatter immediately after getting shattered. At least I don't think so. It can work sometimes. Personally, not my cup of tea. Right now, a lot of ultimates used. T3 Go-Getters, they've got 4 in their back pocket. LaFon, they've got card control. They've got 80 seconds, and they've got a dream. That Implication Matrix is going to be the first ultimate out. Trap Lock sending the Riptire up and above, but the Immortality Field is alive. It's the second one in a row. Destroyed LaFon. That's gotta hurt.
There's the Graviton Surge. It's big, but damage is not coming in. The card rolls through, though, as a forced C9 is in play.
Oh,
Not really a
man.
C9 as the Graviton kept them off the objective, but for all intents and purposes, in this game, we'll call it such, okay?
Hey, now, essentially, I like what you said, a forced C9, a pseudo C9. They were not able to touch the cart when they needed to most. A great direct hit from Trap Lock, but unfortunately, this is the third one. Can't tank Angelic down fast enough. Instead, Angelic gets that Vengeance kill, comes right back in, finds that Elam early. Spike gets the trade, Infected takes down Pumming, and hey, things looking good for the T3 Go-Getters once again. LaFon, if they want to cap with more than 40 seconds, they cannot afford to lose even one fight. If they lose one fight, by the time the next one ends, win or lose, they're below 40 seconds.
And I will say, with how the fights have kind of been going for T3 Go-Getters, if they lose this fight, they won't have any resources in the last one.
Very true.
So that is going to be a big issue for them. My wall, trying for a bait play there, just to try and get everyone into position, but T3 Go-Getters, like, we've seen that before.
Oh! Phenomenal shot from Webb there. Very simple, but I love to see it. I love the accuracy. Another elimination coming through on tonight. Oh, there goes the Immortality Field. That should be kind of a green light for GeForce. Pumming very often almost walls off their teammates, but it's very calculated at picking them up instead of walling them out. And it's actually been very interesting to see how many times they've successfully done that. Until it goes down, it's going to be kind of a forced backup for GeForce, but this is what I'm afraid of. This fight's been going on so long, and there's almost no world where T3 caps with more time.
Overwatch now doesn't really have a concept of dry fights anymore.
Right.
That's not really a thing in modern Overwatch, but...
Oh! I think the silence there is perfect because there is nothing to be said about what just happened. That was domination from Astronex. Red infected like a book there and finds a 5-man Earth Shatter. 40 seconds left on the clock. Ultima Web with another high noon. The beat comes out from Angelic, and they're going to force T3 all the way back into that spawn.
Astronex with 5, and then decides to even the scales by heading to spawn doors.
He played Touch the Spawn Simulator.
And then dying. I think that's
Three
probably
main
the
tank's
best
favorite
indication.
game.
Yeah, that's just how this game's gone. Nice to get one more. And actually, this means that GeForce, with that aggression, is still possible for them to actually get taken out here. EMAC on this D.Va would mean that the uncontested Graviton Surge will be available. Perhaps they don't get the D-back though. Anyhow, still alive.
Oh.
No, the back is gone.
Infected drops the Shatter, finds Diddley squad with it. It's going to be up to the Graviton Surge to try and save the day. The point is gone. Spite is gone. And the T3 Go-Getters are gone. This LaFon is looking like a 3-0 victory. The Grav goes up into the ceiling, does not find a darn tootin' thing. And with that, GeForce is the champions. They are the champions of the Latency May community event. That is going to be just an absolute cleanup for the GeForce. LaFon, I think that jumps all the way back to a point you made at the end of Busan. When they turn it on, they turn it on.
They do. They do. All right. I'll take my head out of my hands here for the post game breakdown as we kind of get set to recap what we just witnessed. In certain cases, interesting gameplay. And others actually some quite good stuff from GeForce overall. I want to touch a point quickly on the end of King's Row that I made before that fantastic shatter. There's not really a thing called dry fights in Overwatch anymore. I know for those of you who've been watching Overwatch a long time, way back in season 1, season 2 of Overwatch League, there would be fights where you would go in with the express purpose of just getting resources away from your opponent, right? You wouldn't use any resources of your own. You would kind of just take a fight and hope for, them to kind of commit things. As we've evolved through Overwatch, that doesn't really happen anymore. The players have gotten so good at being able to generate resources that every fight you're going to have something in your tool belt. For the majority of it, like I'd say like 70, 80% of the time. The last 20% of the time, though, when those fights happen so quickly, is when you're forced to kind of take a fight without using any resources. And I think for GeForce specifically, something they excelled at in this series is to harken back to that point, is they were able to take those fights so quickly, they did not give T3 Go-Getters any real opportunity to generate those ultimates that they need to kind of force the issue overall. So great to GeForce for playing a very up-tempo game that at times were just not able to be responded to at all by T3 Go-Getters. And despite how some fights kind of turned in favor, overall, GeForce was just vastly superior in terms of team performance today and rightfully deserve a 3-0.
Undoubtedly, LaFon, I could not agree with you more. GeForce, like I said, I've been saying it yesterday, all day today. They're that type of team. You look at them, you're like, this is going to be a tough one. They're going to be a tough team to take down. They are almost always the Goliath among the Davids, and it is proven. Like I said, they've proven their weight in gold. But as much as it pains me to say, folks, that's kind of all we had lined up for you today. We just had the one grand final, so it is going to unfortunately be time to call it a day. Before we do that, we'll have the opportunity to talk about dude.gg, and that is DOOD.gg. But I, of course, want to give the opportunity to talk about Claim Your Fame as well. Claim Your Fame is a social media tool that can help gamers, streamers, and content creators enhance their brand by showcasing all social media pages to one profile to help gamers connect to entertainers and to teams and sponsors. That is Claim Your Fame. Folks, that is everything we had for you. So thank you all so much for joining us. It has been a wonderful last couple of days, and it has been a great time getting to watch all these players. A huge shout out to Sam and Nathan in the back line for giving us our observing and producing respectively. And LaFon, of course, thank you for joining me. Thank you all so much for watching. Check your posture, drink some water. Don't forget to love each other, and we'll late and see you next time.